We're talking about the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 today, and I'm going to answer your questions about the child tax credit and what changed with this new tax law that increased the child tax credit to as much as $3,000 or $3,600 per child. And so I'll answer those questions for you in this video. And this is a part of a little series I'm doing answering your tax questions. So please go ahead and put your questions in the comments below, and I'll either make another video about it or I will answer your questions directly in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to be notified of the other videos answering your tax questions. And please subscribe anyway and like this video and share it with your friends and family if they have questions themselves. So, hi, I am Steve Hunt. I am a certified public accountant, and I'm the consultant for prosperity and adventure. I am an expert at helping people like you reach your dreams faster. I'm also the owner of collegetaxrefunds.com, where we help recent college students and their parents and families claim thousands of dollars that they don't even realize that they missed on their old taxes. So if you have a recent college student in your family, please have them check out collegetaxrefunds.com to see if they missed money on their old taxes, and we'll help them get that. So as I said, I want to talk about the child tax credit, this new $3,000 or even $3,600 child tax credit, and answer your questions about what changed and what you have to look forward to for this year. So the changes were put into effect on March 11th, 2021, when President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. So the act looks like this when you go to congress.gov to read about it. Called, as I said, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. And I made another video where I briefly describe all of the major changes. Well, not all, because this is a huge act, but many of the major tax changes. So go ahead and check out that video if you'd like to know more about what's going on in this act. And this is the act that gave everybody the $1,400 third stimulus check. And down here at, let's see here, we're going all the way down to... oh, part 2. There we are. The child tax credit. I didn't expect it to be so far down. As I said, there's a lot of provisions in this act. But the child tax credit was changed right here for 2021 only. Now, I think the Democrats in Congress would like to make these changes permanent. But as of right now, the changes I'm about to tell you about are only for the year 2021. So when you file your taxes next year. But yet some of the provisions are going to take effect even sooner than when you file your taxes next year. So that's maybe what you've heard about. So it says that in general, Section 24 of the tax code, which is the section in the tax code that talks about the child tax credit, will be amended by adding and making these changes. Now, if you're not familiar with Section 24 of the tax code describing the original child tax credit, then these changes aren't really going to make a lot of sense to you. So what I'm going to do right now is simply tell you a little bit about the child tax credit as it was before this act was passed, and then I'm going to tell you what these changes mean. So the child tax credit is a credit that goes for all of the taxpayers, whether they're married filing jointly or head of household raising young children, who have children under the age of 17. So 0 through 16 years old. And that credit has in the past been only $1,000, but in recent years, it's been up to $2,000 per child. And you could use that tax credit to offset your income taxes that you owe the federal government. And even if you didn't owe money to the federal government, you could still get back up to $1,400 per child on your tax return. That $1,400 is what we call refundable. It means you can get a refund of $1,400 even if you didn't pay taxes at all. That was eligible, or this child tax credit was available to parents who had at least a certain amount of earned income, and as long as their income wasn't too high. Okay, so in short, this credit, this child tax credit, has always been money that you can use to offset your taxes, or maybe even money you can get back from your tax return, as long as you have children, and as long as you have some earned income, but as long as your income isn't too high. And once again, the child tax credit was up to $2,000 against your taxes, with $1,400 of that being refundable to you. All right, so with the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, here are some of the changes. The first big change is that the child tax credit now applies for 17-year-olds. This is the first time that this has been available, so it's any child up through the age of 17. If your child is a dependent who is 18 or above, you're not going to get the child tax credit for that child in 2021. Also, for 2021, the child tax credit has gone from $2,000 to $3,000. Now, it's $3,000 for children ages 7 through, give me just a second. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. It is $3,000 for children who are ages 6 through 17. And then if you have a child who is under 6, the credit is actually $3,600. Once again, if you have a child above age 17, you're not going to get any of the credit. And if you have a child below age 6, you're going to get $3,600. Another change for 2021 only, all of these changes are only for 2021, is that the entire amount is refundable. So that means you can use the $3,000 or $3,600 to offset your taxes, but then any amount that you don't use to offset your taxes will be refunded to you. You'll get a check even if you didn't pay any money to the government during the year. And that check is going to be for $3,000 per child or $3,600 per child under age 6. Now, another change for 2021 is that they're going to pay out the child tax credit in advance through the tax year of 2021, beginning in July and going through December. They're going to pay it out at, I think, the rate of $250 per month. Now, this hasn't been done before, and they are having to set this up for the very first time. They're having to figure out which children are going to be eligible for this advanced credit, and they're having to figure out exactly how to send you that money. And so when I say, I think this is how it's going to work, that's because nobody's ever seen it actually work before. But basically, if the IRS believes that your child is between the ages of 6 and 17 and that your income is in the right income range, then you will qualify for this advance payment, and they'll start sending you a check between, one every month, July, August, September, October, November, for $250 per month. And that will be a total of $1,500 that you will get in advance. The other $1,500, remember the credit is $3,000, of this credit you can claim on your 2021 tax return as the new child tax credit. Now, if your child is 5 or below, then of course you qualify for $3,600, which means you're going to get an extra $50 back per month. So that'll be $300 per month, July through December. That means you're going to get $1,800 in 2021, and then you'll get the rest on your 2021 tax return, the other $1,800. Now, what if you don't see those checks come? If, for some reason, the IRS doesn't know that you have a child under the age of 18, or doesn't know, because you had a new baby since the last time you filed a tax return, or maybe you adopted, or there could be any other number of reasons why the IRS doesn't know that you are claiming a child, and so they don't send you that money July through December, then you can claim the entire $3,000 or $3,600 as the case may be on your 2021 tax return. Now, what if you get paid too much? You will have to pay some of that back on your 2021 tax return. However, you won't have to pay all of it back. If your income is too high and that's why you got too much, then actually the credit is reduced from $3,000 down to $2,000 if your income is a little bit higher than the income levels. And I'm not actually talking in this video about the income levels, except to say that the income levels have been changed in 2021. And so basically anybody who earns up to $150,000 as a married filing joint couple, they will be eligible for the entire child tax credit for every child. If you are a head of household, you can make up to $112,500. That's $112,500 and get the entire child tax credit. And if you are filing single, which I don't know how you can qualify, actually, now that I think about it. The American Rescue Plan Act says that if you're, it would be a widower or marrying filing separately. That's what it's going to be. But still, again, if you're a widower or single or filing separately and you actually have a dependent child, you should probably be filing as head of household. So I honestly am not certain, right off the top of my head, somebody can maybe tell me in the comments below why there is an income limit for people who have dependent children who are not married filing jointly or head of household. And that limit would be up to $75,000. Now, once again, if you earn above that amount, you can still keep some of the child tax credit, just not the full amount. All right, another thing that has changed this year is that the child tax credit will be... Sorry, I had to switch back to the actual language of the American Rescue Plan Act in order to remember what that last change was. And it's because the change is a little bit cryptic. It says right here simply, subsection D shall not apply for 2021. Now, subsection D of the child tax credit section, of the Internal Revenue Code is the section that talks about how you have to have a certain amount of earned income in order to qualify for the child tax credit. So what this means is for 2021 only, right now, even if you didn't have the required amount of earned income that is usually required for the child tax credit, you are still eligible for the full $3,000 or $3,600 child tax credit. So everybody who makes up to the $150,000 married filing jointly, and everybody who makes up to the $112,500 head of household, who has dependent children below the age of 18, are going to qualify for this new child tax credit in 2021, even if they didn't make enough earned income. Now, those people who have the low earned income are also still going to qualify for the earned income credit, which is also a very valuable tax credit. And so for 2021, people who qualify for the earned income credit and they'll get the earned income credit and this newly increased enhanced child tax credit. Once again, all the changes that we've talked about in this video apply only to 2021 as of right now, unless the Democrats get their way in Congress and they're able to pass an additional tax bill that extends these tax provisions for the coming years. So for those of you who have children, enjoy the extra money this year. And let me know if you have any questions about what I've said or about the child tax credit in the comments below. If you have any other tax questions, you can also put them in the comments below. I'll go ahead and try to answer them here in the comments or by making another video. Thanks so much for subscribing and for liking this video and for sharing it with your friends and family. Have a great day.